Alright, hopefully you used the work yesterday to build a strong understanding of what solving for a variable really means. Today we're going to practice the paperwork side of it. Mathematics itself is a language that has to be communicated properly, and that is why whenever kids say, do I have to show my work, the answer is yes, because in order for a mathematician in China to communicate with a mathematician in Spain or somewhere else in a different country, there has to be a standard form, and their work is what proves that it's done right. So this is what we begin working on today. Again, these problems will seem too simple for some of you to take seriously, but if you fail to pick up good habits, I'm not going to help you when the problems get difficult, and I am keeping I'm paying close attention to the students who are trying to complain and say, I don't feel like doing this and I can do it my way, and that's fine. But to be honest, if you come to me later, I'm just going to send you back to this video if your fundamentals are not right. So next week, when the problems get tougher, if you choose not to practice, then don't be upset at me when I refuse to teach you something that you should be learning today or should be learning this week. So again, if you have an attitude now, expect for me to have one next week if your attitude is an issue in terms of you knowing what's going on. So let's look at how the paperwork works, and you are going to notice that the numbers on these problems today are very difficult. Not difficult, they're big, so that you can't do them in your head like most of you like to do. You have to trust the process. The bad news for you is that even on the computer you're going to have to check your answer, at least show what you would do to check your answer, and it has to be done right. So x plus 173 equals negative 352. What we remember yesterday is that we have to get the variable alone. The number that is with the variable is 173 is positive. So if you want to move it, you have to put a negative 173 on both sides. Remember, this is a wall. The 173's cancel out. X comes down, and if you don't know what it is, use your calculator. And again, it's a negative 352 plus a negative 173, which gives you negative 525. To check that, all you're going to do is take this 525 and plug it back into your original. So parentheses negative 525 plus 173 equals negative 352. And you have to actually type this in today. Now I'm assuming that you'll probably just type in the next part, but again, I want to check it. So parentheses negative 525 plus 173 equals, to make sure I get negative 352, which I do. And that is the check process for now. It is important that you kind of get this down now, because as we get deeper into this stuff and you have to check it, you're not going to be able to fudge your way through it and hope that it works out. You're actually going to have to be able to get through it the right way. So again, all you do is take your answer, plug it in for x over here, and make sure that it works out. X plus 3/5 equals negative 7 over 11. So in this case, again, x is by itself, 3/5 is being added, you get negative 7 over 11 as an answer. In order to get rid of this, it is a fraction being added, which means if I want to get rid of the 3/5, I should just subtract the 3/5. And what happens is x comes down, the 3/5 cancel. I just need to know what negative 7/11 and negative 3/5 make. Well, good news is your teacher taught you how to do that. So negative parentheses 7 over 11 plus parentheses negative 3/5 gives me a decimal that I hit math, enter, enter, and I get negative 68 over 55. Again, the numbers are ugly, so you have to trust the process. When you go to check it, simply put negative 68 over 55 plus 3/5 equals whatever is over here. Again, you're just rewriting the equation. Now what you're going to do is type it in to make sure it works. So negative 68 over 55 plus parentheses 3/5, math, enter, enter, and notice that I get the answer of negative 7 over 11, which is what I'm looking for. That's what tells me that the answer is right. And again, the bad news for you is that it's on computer, and if you don't do it, then you're not going to get your grade to go where you need it to go. But other than that, it's also on your quiz this week, and you need to make sure you know how to do this stuff today. 8.91 equals 11.38 plus x. This will be the last one we do for addition, but again, what you're going to do is recognize that x is over here, and the number with x, if you draw that wall, is the 11.38. So I need to subtract 11.38 from both sides. Again, if you don't know what that is, simply put 8.91 plus negative 11.38, getting the answer of negative 2.47 equals x, because remember that goes away. Now to check it, I simply type in what I have, 8.91 equals 11.38 plus parentheses negative 2.47. We need to type this side in here to check the answers, so I do my 11.38 plus parentheses negative 2.47. I'm terrible at pushing buttons right now, and I do get 8.91. And so that's how I know that it's right. If for some reason the answer I get does not match, then I know it's not a solution, because remember, solution means that it makes it true, and that's what tells me that it does not work, or that I made a mistake. Multiplication problems we did not do yesterday, but again, you need to make sure you get this. You might even want to write a couple of these just to make sure you have it, because later on when you do your lesson credit, you're going to have to show me this work, otherwise you're not going to get any credit on the computer. So in solving this problem, we know that this is 12 times x. And again, make sure you get this down, because this is the part where students start getting stubborn. 216 equals 12x. That's 12 times x. And again, the way you want to remember this is that if you want to get rid of a number directly attached to x, you want to divide it. That's 12 times x, so we will divide both sides by 12. So we do 216 divided by 12 to get 18. And if you think about it, 12 divided by 12 is 1x. Although you don't need to write the 1, it's just 18 equals x. That is your answer. Now we go to check it. So we put 216 equals 12 parentheses 18, because that's what x is. Take your calculator to verify it. 12 times 18, which is of course 216, equals 216. And that's it. Alright. 13x equals negative 364. Again, 13x is what we're looking at. I need to get rid of this 13. It's 13 times x, so we divide both sides by 13. Typically what generally happens is that the 13's cancel, even though it equals 1, which we have here. We just need to know what the heck negative 364 divided by 13 is, which is negative 28. But we don't know if that's right until we check it. So 13 parentheses negative 28 equals negative 364. And yes, on your work you're going to have to show me all this. So again, just get used to it. 13 times negative 28 is negative 364, which equals negative 364. And I know that I did it right. Alright. So again, today's focus is mostly on the work. It's not about the modeling, but it is about the work, and you need to make sure you're ready to show the work, otherwise it's going to be a long day and a long week for you. Solve each problem in division. Again, show your answer, show your work, or check your answer. So this is one we did not see yesterday, so it's slightly different. This is x divided by 15, and the way you're going to show the work on this, or you should show the work on this because it makes sense, unless you find a much better way, and you probably want to check it with me first, and I'll tell you okay or not okay. Just make sure, again, you don't expect for me to say yes, but you can ask. X divided by 15, if I want to get rid of it, I will just multiply both sides by 15, because what we learned is that when you multiply 15 to the top, you get 15 over 15, and what happens is those two things cancel, bringing down x. We just need to know what negative 28 times 15 is, and you get 420, or sorry, negative 420. To check it, you put in your negative 420 over 15 equals negative 28. I do my negative 420 divided by 15. Notice my answer is negative 28, and that tells me that I got it right. 75 equals x over 26. Again, this is x divided by 26, so what I want to do is multiply by whatever I'm divided by on both sides. I need to know what 26 times 75 is, and that's 1950 equals, again, that cancels, x. To check it, I go back to my original and I write it down. 75 equals, I don't really need parentheses on the top because there's nothing up there, but 1950 over 26. Let's see what 1950 over 26 is. Notice that it is 75, and so 75 equals 75, and that is that. Again, you are going to have to type that in for your work today. I'll do one more and then we'll get ready for the lesson credit and get ready to go, since it is about 10 minutes now. Ugly questions like this, again, trust your process. This is x divided by something equals 11.4. Again, because it's division, I am going to multiply by whatever is down here, because multiplying by that gets rid of it. So 2.73 going there. I just need to bring down my x. 11.4 times 2.73 equals 31.122. I then take this and check it. 31.122 over 2.73 equals 11.4. 2.73, and notice that I do get my 11.4 that I was looking for, and so that's what tells me that I got it right. Bottom line, the lesson credit that you are doing for today is different. You're going to have to actually come to the desk for a worksheet. I have 4 questions, I believe, waiting for you. Looking at the sheet, yep, 4 questions. You're going to be expected to show your work appropriately. If you bring it up and you did not show your work appropriately, I'll probably call you back to the desk and ask you to show it appropriately. If it becomes an issue and again you just decide to fight it completely, you can do your Math Excel all you want. You are not getting any credit for Math Excel today until you show me the work on these 4 questions like I need you to. Please notice again, I didn't say your answer needs to be right. I just said that you have to be showing the work appropriately to get any credit from Math Excel today. So again, it's not about being right, it's about the process. It's so that next week and the weeks after, whenever you have an issue solving, if you have an issue solving, that I know you did your job now and I can help you. But again, if you become that student that doesn't want my help now, don't come to me again later, because I'm not going to be there. Other than that, come up and get your worksheet, and then that way you can go to your Math Excel and start practicing. Again, make sure you get your practice, make sure you're speaking up for yourselves and starting to make the right choices to pass this class. Otherwise, it's going to be a long semester. Good luck.